Hey guys, I'm Daryl and welcome to the channel. This week we're going to talk about 12 volt fridges. And this is my trusty Waco CF40, that's 40 litre fridge slash freezer. That means it can be either a fridge or a freezer. It can't be a combo unit, it's far too old for that. Now, this has been an awesome fridge. It has never ever let me down from the day I've taken it out of the original box. It has been in various vehicles. It's just been thrown in the back seat or in the cargo area. It's been used in the camper. It's been used as an overflow drinks fridge in the house. It's been taken to people's places and just plugged into their power point when we go to a party. It has just been such a versatile fridge, and if you don't have a fridge, get one. It will change your life. We go out on the weekend shopping and we just throw the fridge in the back of the car because we can throw all the frozens and cold stuff in there and just go out and not bother about coming home. It's really, really good and handy. Far more handy than what you think. Anyway, it's come to the point with this new drawbar box that I'd like to put a new fridge in there, and I'd like to run two fridges. And you're probably asking, why aren't you running one of the large 70 litre combo fridges that's available nowadays? For me, they're too big. The current drawer in them is quite a lot. If something goes wrong, you lose the whole lot. There's a whole gamut of stuff why I wouldn't buy them. You know, there's weight, you go down the rabbit hole with why I wouldn't buy them. Now, this will go and live in the Jeep, and I never really seem to use the back seat in the Jeep anymore, so that'll come out. I'll build a lightweight storage solution. This will live in there, and to power this will be the Dometic lithium portable pack that I have. And that'll mean that each fridge will run off its own power source. I'm sure, however, with 200 watts of lithium power in this box, I'll have more than enough, but that's not the point. If I can, and I do have the options, I think that's a really good way to do it. And it also means that when we don't have the camper hooked up or we're going somewhere, the fridge is always in the back of the Jeep. It's always cold. You can then take your own drinks and save some cash or whatever. It's a really good thing to have. I'm used to having a fridge now in the vehicle, and I couldn't do it without it, frankly. Anyway, what are we going to replace this with? Now, the parameters are, and I've already said I need it to be a fridge or a freezer, those abilities. I also need it to be able to have an internal AC option. I don't want to be carrying around the box AC battery pack that a lot of fridges do have. So that's something to be careful if you are shopping for fridges. I did buy my dad a cheaper version of this at the point of when I bought this, and his did have the external battery pack, and I notice some still have it. I do like the option of just plugging in AC or 12 volts into the back of the fridge, so that's a requirement too. Before we drill down into the options available, and there are a lot of options, we've got drawer units, we've got front opening fridge unit, the traditional type of chest fridge, there's a whole wide gamut, and brands, although where we're looking, it looks as though we'll be mainly looking at Dometic or Engel. But we'll look at each of those options one by one. Now, with sizing, this is a 40 litre fridge, as I've already mentioned. I've never really wanted a bigger fridge than that. And somewhere between 30 and 40 litres. I'm still tossing up which one to get. Now, with the options, let's look at those one by one. Fors and against, am I still considering it, or have I disregarded that? Let's look at the traditional fridge like these in a Dometic and an Engel version. I've got a side-by-side where I went into a local retailer and had a look at those. So let's crack on. Now, the Dometic CD30 30 litre drawer fridge. It's a good size, 44 wide, 71 deep and 25 high. However, it is hardwired in. It is just a cooling fridge. It's not a freezer, and it's not a portable unit. It also doesn't have AC. And when you look at a lot of the reviews, a lot of the people are saying, great fridge, but probably not your only fridge. As a supplementary drink cooler, it's very good. So maybe not for me. Now, I was really excited about this Evercool DC40 40 litre drawer fridge. It is a fridge freezer. However, It's a really large size dimensionally. It's 59.5 wide, it's 83.5 deep, and it's 32 high, so it's a really big fridge. I think for a drawer type of fridge that you're just bolting into the vehicle, it would work really, really well. It doesn't have 240 volt AC input, it just runs off 12 volt. You can forgive it for that, for what it is. It's just the size that really doesn't fit with my packaging. So unfortunately, this one isn't for me. Now, the upright front opening fridges are a really nice thing. They have a combined small freezer and fridge in one. Dimensionally, they're very efficient. They run off AC and DC, most of them, and most of all, they're lighter. Combined to a traditional chest fridge and a drawer slide, they're probably 10 or more kilos lighter, so they're a really nice thing. My problem is I can't get one small enough to fit into the drawbar box I have in height. So unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I'd really like one of these, this is not going to happen this time. Now in this segment we're going to look at the Dometic CFX 335, which is actually 36 litres. Comparing that against the Engel MTV 35F, which is a 32 litre fridge. Both are very similar, the Dometic being 36 litre, the Engel being 32 litre. Both have very similar specs. The Dometic has Bluetooth and an app that goes along with it where you can see what temp your fridge is at. The Engel does not have that. Both have a really good name, and I think in some respects it just comes down to a brand preference. But let's get out of here and check these out next door to each other and see what the differences actually are. Now, looking at the Dometic and the Engel fridges side by side, they're identical in size. There's not a whole lot in it. I do think the Engel has slightly thicker wall thicknesses. The Engel is a metal construction, the Dometic is a plastic construction. Opening them up, the Engel has one deep section of the fridge that takes up the whole area of the fridge, whereas the Dometic has one deep section and a small shelf inside, which is not a bad place to put things like butter or the like. Now, taking out the baskets that are in it, you can see, putting them side by side, that they're basically the same height. However, when we put them side on, the Dometic is noticeably smaller. That said, in the Dometic fridge you can stand a wine bottle up, whereas in the Engel fridge you can't stand a wine bottle up. In the Engel fridge, however, you can lay a wine bottle down quite easily, whereas in the Dometic it won't lie down, it doesn't have the length there. So you've got to lie it down across the basket. One thing I did notice when closing the fridge was that the metal clasp on the Engel was very precise and easy to close, whereas the Dometic, being plastic, you actually had to push down really hard on the lid to get it to close. Whilst that's probably not a problem long term, it was something that when comparing the two side by side you did notice, and it did make the Dometic look rather cheap compared to the Engel. After comparing the two refrigerators, for me, I think the Engel just wins out, even though it doesn't have the Bluetooth connectivity that the Dometic does. Whilst I have had a really good run with the Waco fridge I've had, which is a Dometic, I never hear anything bad about Engel fridges. So for me, I think this time and this purchase will be an Engel fridge of some description. Now, at this point of time, I still haven't made the purchase. Still mulling it around in my own head. I dare say I'll go for the 32 litre, but I could go for the 40. I'll work that out. But by the time we go to fit out the inside of this, I'll make the purchase and we'll have it. I've still got to mount this to the camper, so lots happening. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss anything out. I hope you've gleaned something from that today. I certainly did throughout this process. So that's it, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.